Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing what I thought of the fifth and sadly final season, although it feels kind of right. It's bittersweet because it's tough to say goodbye, but this felt like a good time for the show to end, and I'm glad it got a proper ending rather than being left on the cliffhanger like I thought it would be for the ends of time. Disenchantment dropped its final and fifth season a few days ago on Netflix. I was away for the weekend, so I didn't have a chance to watch it until earlier tonight. I finished binging the whole thing. I really liked it a lot. Before I get into all of that, please be warned, if you haven't seen the fifth and final season of Disenchantment and you're still watching it, and if you're in the beginning or the middle of it, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing plot details and spoilers and shit that happens from the beginning to the end of the season, especially the shit that goes down in the final episode. So spoilers are abound. You have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, I was totally thrown off when the trailer for this dropped like a week or two ago, or was it more than that? It was like a few weeks ago. They said that the fifth and final season was coming to Netflix, which was a huge surprise because I was under the impression Netflix had shut down its entire animation division, and whatever animated shows were in production, whether they be for adults or for kids, just abruptly ended and ceased all movement. I guess that wasn't the case. I guess they had just enough time to finish the fifth and final season for Disenchantment, which was shocking to me, but I was delighted because I loved the show, and I was like, oh good, we're getting a new season and a final one at that. But okay, great. I was just happy that we were going to get some resolution and closure, and I think we got pretty much exactly that. The show was very funny, very entertaining. I especially enjoyed the big epic battle between all the different people and races of creatures of Dreamland. You know, both the good guys and the bad guys, how they all came together and, you know, fought against one another. It was a pretty cool battle of epic proportions, even in the scale of an animated show like this. And it was, of course, super funny, never-ending one-liners, and stuff that made you laugh, made you giggle, and, of course, like almost every season since the show first premiered, there's always been one moment or one line from any character that makes me laugh so hard I have to pause the show so I don't miss anything, just so I could get my laughing under control. And that scene came, and I wrote it down so I would remember. I think it was in the 9th episode towards the end of the season when the Elf King is wounded and he thinks he's dying, and he says he wants to keep his corpse away from Weirdo the elf, who's all and he disappears at the edge of his bed after he says, keep Weirdo away from my corpse. Oh God, that shit was hysterical. I was laughing so hard I had to pause it, catch my breath, control myself so I could resume watching and not miss anything else. But God damn it, that was funny. I was hoping for a moment that this season would provide hysterical laughter for me, and that was that scene. That was that moment. It still cracks me up. You know, I enjoyed it for the most part. I'm glad our characters got their respective endings. I was kind of hoping Lucy would come back to life, so to speak. I'm not surprised he ended up in heaven, but he did end up resurrecting God and then being the greatest gift of all, which was the love of her life, Mora. You know, because he did something so unselfish, he finally became an angel instead of remaining a demon in heaven. Because he did something that was pretty out of character for him, which was think about someone else for once, which was a nice act of redemption on his end. Not that he was an evil little bastard. Like, he was more comical evil than evil evil. Like, Dagmar was evil evil. Glad to see her go. I was kind of hoping she was dead when that giant crystal pierced her right through the stomach, but I guess she and the creepy puppet, which was kind of her son or something like that, just ended up in a cage hanging off of the cliff of the castle forever. So that's punishment as well, but I was really hoping we would see her die. But I love the endings that all the characters got. Everybody got a happy ending for the most part, and if people didn't get a happy ending, the other characters got exactly what was coming to them. Like the creep who ran the freak show and got eaten by that monster in the lake, or that weird guy whose deal I didn't quite fully understand, or I couldn't remember from previous seasons, the one who's from Steamland and obsessed with Bean and wanted to take her to the moon for whatever reason, but he ends up trapped there with the weird little underground elves or trogs, whatever they were called, and he's there with that weird woman who, of course, so now they're stuck up there away from Bean and everyone else. But you know what, like I said, everybody else either got a happy ending with each other and with themselves, and if they didn't get a happy ending, they got exactly what was coming to them because they were evil bastards. So overall, solid final season. It was exciting, it was emotional, super shocking when you realize, oh my god, Bean had stabbed Mora and then killed her. I was like, well, we still have a few episodes to go, so hopefully they'll bring her back, which they did, but still very shocking in that moment. So this final season, a little bit of everything. Had plenty of humor, lots of action and excitement, some heartfelt, emotional stuff for Bean, for Mora, and for other characters as well, and then a nice, solid, satisfying conclusion. Although I was a little thrown off by the post-credits scene, which was Dreamland disappearing after the drawbridge went up. Not sure what that was about, but oh well. It's the end of an era, or at least the end of Disenchantment. So I really enjoyed the show a lot. I'm a big fan of The Simpsons and of Futurama and Matt Groening. And, you know, when I first realized they were doing a show that he created for Netflix in the style of his animation, I was very excited. And this show has not disappointed. Some seasons are funnier than others, but that's just something that happens. But overall, I was pretty happy and satisfied with this final season, as I hope you guys were as well. So what did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Disenchantment is now streaming in its entirety on Netflix. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Thanks for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.